just so that we can see what's going on. It sort of works well. If you can put your webcam on, I can see Frank and Adrian. I can't see the others. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, you're all over it, Frank. I just want to quickly go back so that you know. Can you see we've got, what's today's date? Where am I? 25th. We've got another week of finances. We've got the assessment. We're going to do like the knowledge assessment on the 5th. Can you see we just keep going? We've got 4 weeks of building codes. And can you see there's a week off, which is you'd be happy because we've been smashing this for the last couple of weeks. Is get a week off. If you're going to go on holidays, try and do it then. I'm going to talk to the Albury boys and girls. Sorry, Mick, I'm just muting you guys. I'm going to talk to the Albury boys and girls and see, I'll talk to the teachers and let them make the decision whether giving you access to WHS and trying to get it done in a week. It's probably a bit hard going, but you might be able to like do some of the lessons in April. Am I sharing? Oh my God, I'm not sharing. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Is that better? God. Rookie error. All right. Sorry, I'll just go back. So we're here. You can see we've got 1 more week of finances. Building codes is coming up. We've got an extra week on building codes. I'm really happy we've done that. It used to be 3. It was just too tight. It's a really good subject, and Adrian and Frank are a couple of experts. So after that, you can see in April we got that week off. So Albury boys and girls, if you want to try and just talk with Mick and Andrew, if you want to try and over a few weeks catch up, like we've got a week off in July and August, you can sort of catch up your WHS there. So you can definitely try and do that. Now, I'm even going to, I've noticed a couple of guys like Joel's working his ring out and Josh was here last night. So we're going to give you that option to do WHS then, okay? Okay. Dion, did you do WHS? Yeah, okay. So the option's there for you, but don't stress about doing it now. Let's just focus on finances, all right? Not a bad idea. I know I've said it before, but to just copy that calendar, maybe put it in your phone or whatever you got, just so that you know the dates. We've had a couple going on holidays and it's pretty hard for catching up. I think some of you would probably agree. If you miss a night, it's a killer just to catch up. All right, Albury, I just got a few messages for some of the Albury students. You guys, I know in the orientation site, which I'll go to, and in my training or your training, because you guys came after WHS, we actually haven't put in the Albury training plan. Can I let Mick and Andrew sort that out, guys? And you can either put it up, but whether you're going to use Autodocs or you're going to sign it there, I'll let you guys sort that out. That's where we upload it, just if you need it for chasing for compliance. So we've actually marked it. You can see we've still got a few guys struggling. We spoke about that last night, but we actually mark it and say whether it's complete properly or not and sign it digitally. But I'll leave. Is that okay, you Albury guys, to sort that out? All right. I had a couple of questions, and it's a good example. Brody's in the chat box. It said, is the cash book we done last night the one that is required for our assessment checklist? No. Let me make this clear. The assessment, I'm going to open it up. So go to assessment tasks. If you can see on the screen, I'm going to increase my size again, sorry. Click on that, so skills assessment. And we're doing the learning for part 3 and 4, yeah? So we're doing this part, we're learning, we're teaching you how to do it. And then Thursday night, I'm going to probably talk about this in more depth, yeah? So we just keep going step by step. So if you open that up, you can see cash book, transactions, cash book to fill out, bank statement, our reconciliation, and the cash flow forecast, which we do Thursday, I think. All right, that's your assessment. I'm not going to show you how to do it. You have to do it yourselves and submit it as per some questions on next Thursday. Does that help? Last night, I'll go back. Last night it was cash book exercise number 1. See? Cash book journal exercise number 1. Hopefully that's explained well enough. Yeah, so those online, Joel just asked, last night is an example of how to do it. And we're going to do another one tonight. So as I said, I'm a lazy teacher. I'm going to get you to do all the work. It's like a really bad dad joke, I suppose. Okay, so that was last night, cash book exercise number 1. Now, if you look, you can see I've put some answers up because last night was you to learn how to do it. We put all the answers up. So if you go in there, you can see where I put it. Sorry, I'll just scroll down. So you can see for the cash book entries, and you can see the ones that haven't been accounted for. I'm just hovering over it. Those ones, they're the outstanding credits and unpresented items or unpresented checks. Yeah, they're the things that haven't been seen in the bank statement. I need you to get your hands dirty with it and use it. I'll scroll down a bit more. The videos have got the answers. The cash book exercise PowerPoint gives you the cash book balance. It's like a step-by-step process, working out the bank rec and then getting it to reconcile it. When you do the assessment yourselves, you'll probably do it on the weekend. You need to make sure your cash book's the same as your bank statement. And then you go, oh yeah, you actually know you're correct. So don't submit it in the next 2 weeks if it's the two don't balance out, because it's going to be wrong. So you know if you're going to be right, okay? Now, I had a good question, and I've just taken a snapshot. If you can see, I know it's poor vision, but my father sort of taught me how to do it, and it was old-fashioned, like crossing out entries. If you take a snapshot, can you see those little blue lines? So you cross them out, they've all been accounted for, and then you go, can you see the highlighted sections? Then you go, oh, okay, that hasn't been accounted for in the cash book, so I need to make sure I've adjusted to balance it. That's a really good tip. I know the old-fashioned ways, I used to tick it and cross it out. That's in the second video if you want to have a look.
Program you were using to kind of do that?
Oh, okay. Those online, Ryan just said what sort of it's called the snipping tool. If you do it on the left, I don't know if you can see my screen. See the little window? If you click on that, you just write in snipping to SN. Oh, you got to actually write it in. Sorry, let me try it again. No, it's not working. It's a snipping tool application. That's the one I've got. There might be some different ones on, yeah, so that can help you. For those sort of questions, maybe it's best that they're really like little function questions that ask Adrian or the hour before. So I've mentioned part 3 and 4. So we're doing exercise 2 tonight. Have a quick discussion on creditors and debtors and a couple of terms. And then that should pretty much get you set up to do your assessment. Yeah, parts 3 and 4. But I'm going to talk about that more on Thursday, yeah? Firstly, can you please take advantage of Adrian for this cluster? He is the guru of spreadsheet. Can I be honest? I do those spreadsheets, and you know what I do? I get this. I'm just going to put the camera up to it. I actually use that, and it's a bit old-fashioned, a bit stupid, but I don't have the skill of Adrian's. You don't have to have it perfectly spreadsheet sorted, but, you know, as long as you get the answer right. But I'm still sort of stuck in this way, and you want to get away from that because still spreadsheets are still pretty good, right? I'll give you an example. A colleague that I've worked with that does renovations, they paid for the Cordell's V5 estimator system, get the database, and you look at it and you think it's fantastic at measuring and working out unit rates and prices for jobs, but he's pulled away from it because he knows his content and he's estimating so well. He just uses his own spreadsheet. So he's leaps and bounds in this new technology, and he was paying $250 a month. Sorry, a month I said. He's got rid of that cost, and he's just using a spreadsheet because he knows estimating so well. So you might go down that path, but we're just giving you these options to think about it, okay? And try, you know, I'll put it up to the screen. I'm still using that, which is, I suppose, a little bit embarrassing, but anyway. So please use that hour. My point is use that hour for Adrian, and it's for the rest of the year too. I think we're going to try and get Gleno to help in building codes, and other teachers will be there for that hour for you. Okay. All right, done. I better get started before I bore you to death. Right, refresh, can yous? I'm not going to show you this. It is a PowerPoint that we got from the ATO. I'm not going to go through it, it's too much. But it's really good for you boys and girls to have a look. It goes into some overview for stuff we've already discussed. Contractors, employees, and so forth. Business structure. Super PAYG. So that's just a bit of extra material for you, okay? I've also got a video which I'm not going to show. It's a famous video from a guy called Glenn McCurdy that's done the old MyAb. You remember he did it? Glenn set up he had a MyAb account. I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to let you guys and girls watch that in your own time because it goes for 4 or 5 minutes, but it just shows you the other possibilities of using an app. Next week, we're still going to try and maybe show you something with Xero. All right? But let's stick with the spreadsheet for this cluster so far. All right. There was a term last night, and I did it back to front. I wanted to introduce you to it, and I want you to maybe quickly research and tell us just in the chat box. Do you know what a creditor or a debtor is? Just put it in your own words quickly. And sorry, I'm just looking at the while you're doing that, Adrian's also said if you want him to look at your spreadsheet, you can email it to him. And I'm just looking while I'm waiting for a couple of answers. What do you do, Dylan? What do you do if something pops up on your bank statement that's not in your cash book? Okay, well, that's where you put it back in your cash book balance. You have to add it to there. Does that help, Dylan? Yeah, Adrian's just answered you right. Amy says someone you have to pay versus someone who pays you, correct? Creditor is someone who lends money, debtor is owing. Okay, perfect. Perfect. A debtor is a person or enterprise that owes money to another party. The creditor or person, bank or other enterprise that has lent money or extended credit to another party. All right. Now, the most complicated part, and I still sometimes get it wrong, is when you've got your credit and debit written in your cash book and your credit and debit in your bank statement, because if it's your money, it's credit in the bank statement. It's sort of the opposite. It confuses. And sometimes I get it back to front. So you're not going to probably remember it all the time, but you're slowly going to get a feel for it whilst you start doing your own banking over years, okay? There was another term. If you just refresh, boys and girls, I'm going to get you to do a forum for me. Do you remember those two terms that were in the in your what do you call it, your bank reconciliation? Can you tell me sort of what's the definition of your outstanding credits and your unpresented items? I put items because checks aren't always there, like I spoke about that last night. Sorry? Well, they're your transactions, yeah. So they're items that aren't. I'll let some students answer first, and I'll continue with it. Just waiting on a few answers. Mitch from Albury. Yeah, you're pretty much right there. So items that don't show up on your bank statements. That's actually probably one of the best explanations. And it's nice and simple, Mitch. That's a good one. Corey down at Nowra. Are you guys at campus at Nowra? I know there's no teacher there tonight. Credit or check that has not yet been paid. Yes, Brad, Adrian can probably help you there. I might look at why you're still answering that. Looks like a good answer. Money coming in that hasn't been recorded in the bank statement, money going out that hasn't been recorded. Oh, that's good, Tom. All right, I'm going to let you answer that yourselves. What I am going to do is put my answer up. Outstanding credits or unpresented items, checks, I've got in brackets, are the amounts recorded in your cash book that are yet to be shown within the bank statement and therefore need to be reconciled. Does that make sense? It's sort of, after you do a couple, it sort of goes, oh, it's just minusing and subtracting, you know what I mean? Outstanding credits, it's your money. Unpresented items, you owe this money. In its simplest terms, I suppose. Is everyone okay with that? I hope I'm not wrong. Got that wrong a few times over the years. Anyway. All right, so I'm going to move on. So last night's exercise 1. I'll put the answer up. Tonight I'm not going to put the answer up. I'm going to get you to have a crack at it yourselves. Get yourselves familiar with it. Can you see the snapshot here? I've just put in the orange the actual bank statement comparisons, and you can see where the monies are sort of a bit different. And you can see that sort of really explains it. Where you got the, the outstanding credits and the unpresented items or checks. Does that help? You wouldn't normally do that in a cash book, but that's just so it sort of like says, oh yeah, those bits aren't in it. That's why, and I need to add them in the bank statement or the bank reconciliation. Okay. Please use that so you can learn it and understand it. And this is the same style of set out for the assessment of where we're doing the cash book balance and bank statement reconciliation. And remember the balance figures need to be the same. Use that and practice it, and then you'll be all over it. All right. Any questions? All right. Now this is easy for us as teachers because we're just going to get you to do exercise number 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up. Exercise number 2. I didn't change the year. I ran out of time. Receipts and payments or invoices, income and expenses, sorry. For Builder, these transactions are to be formally recorded within your cash book. So these are all the transactions over that month. What you did last night, I want you to get these transactions and put them in, your cash book. Yeah? Once you've done that, here's your bank statement from Westpac Bank. I want you to start crossing things off. Get your snipping tool. I might do it as an example. This might help you. You can get your snipping tool. And And you can just cross, okay, I've accounted for that. I've accounted for that. Oh, that's not there. Do you understand? And then it really jumps out at you. I've also put the spreadsheet back up. That's pretty much the one that you're going to be using for that you used for last night. Also, the one that you're going to be using for your assessment. Remember, if you want to just slowly chip away at this, you know, you start working for yourself, you can start changing the bottom names and just putting in January. Oh, I'm using the wrong keyboard. January, yeah. Copying it and adding another one. Now this is old, for you, I can't spell. This is like an old-fashioned way, but if you're just working as a chippy, you want to start getting a feel for it, or you're slowly developing, or you want to be building in the next couple of years, not a bad idea to start using it. All right, that's in its simplest form. All right, I'm going to open up the other items. There is, I'm putting this up here because it just helps you follow the format or actually do the calculation. Yeah, that's exactly the same as per last night's one. Your amount from previous period, and then working out your calculations for your bank rec. The thing is though, use the spreadsheet to complete it here. Now, to be honest, if you complete either one, it's fine, but it's better to do it in there because it's all in the one, the spreadsheet, yeah? So what I've written here is, you know, for your perusal, for you to have a look at, okay? All right, and now I'll put the activities up. So tonight, this is what I reckon. This is, if you want to be on track and well ahead, I suppose, on track, my thoughts are complete this. Might take an hour or so. Some of you may be quicker. The figures I'm pretty sure are the same because we've done this many times. Complete your spreadsheet and upload it here. Yeah, so that's exercise number 2. And then what I've actually done is I've got you to do a quiz. So I'm not putting the answer up tonight, but you can go in and you have to put the answer in for the balance, okay? All right. From that, like we've got some time here, get your head around that, and then my advice would be jumping into part 3 and 4. Are you happy if I talk about 3 and 4 now?
We just make it up.
What do you mean?
3 and 4.
No. Okay, those online, Ryan just said, do we make it up? I said no. If you go to your assignment, so what we're doing is the last 2 nights we're doing the cash book and the reconciliation. So you did that last night, you're going to do exercise 2. It's going to be so, it's actually, once you get your head around it, you're going to just smash it, yeah? But if you open up your cash book portfolio, which is at the bottom of the assessment, so skills assessment, scroll down. You've done everything from 1 to 4, or you got up to, except for that, except for part F. See the student cash book portfolio. I'll open it up. Can you see the tabs at the bottom of the screen? Yeah? See cash book transactions. That is for 2018. They're just different. You can see this one's a bit more updated. There's no client checks and so forth. Yeah? That's where you fill in your cash book. So it's actually the same, yeah? There's your bank statement. And there's your reconciliation. So really, you can probably just about have that done tonight, to be honest, yeah? I'll be surprised if he's a strike. The cash flow forecast, we'll do that on Thursday. All right, are there any questions? All right, we're going to sit tight for an hour or two. And I'm going to turn off the audio unless you've got anything to ask. I'm actually going to turn off the recording because it's all over to you boys and girls now.